and no matter what nationality, or if they look different, if you're heavy and they're skinny, or you're skinny and they're heavy, black, white, brown, yellow, purple, whoever they are, show them love. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Brett Sommer Show. This will be a special edition, a Q&A edition of the Brett Sommer Show, where we go over some questions that we had from some people on our Instagram story. So let's get right to it. We don't want to take up all of your time today. I already did that on all the other shows this week. We got a little long due to some things that I could have controlled. So next week they will be more locked in. Now, the first question is from Gus.Kelly.21. He said, tips for people and kids moving on to high school. First thing I would say, if you're moving on to high school, if you're going into sports and athletics, is to learn how to eat so that you can gain muscle, and then learn how to strength train the right way. If you're an athlete, you're going to get plenty of skill knowledge from camps and things that you go to. But I think the one thing that sets back kids the most is not being physically prepared, and also not doing some of the training that can help them prevent injuries. Now, on the school side of things, what I would recommend for this is, beyond the schoolwork and all that, yeah, that's important. Go do that, get your good grades, but treat people really well and get to know people that are different than you, and start to accept and encourage other people who are different from you. So yeah, you're going to gravitate towards people who are athletes if you're an athlete, or bookish if you're bookish, or into witchcraft if you're into witchcraft. You know, there's all different types of groups in high school. I don't know if they have the witchcraft. Did they have that when you were in school? Like the kids that were like Wiccan and cast spells on you?
Maybe like
Goth?
two, like the whole school.
Oh, well, those two were special because they're different. So I would, if I could go back, I would really I would try and get to know everybody and get to be cool with everybody. And some people won't want to hang out with you, but I think the more you can respect people who are different than you, it opens you up to having more relationships and being able to treat people real good, and especially when they're different. Because in life, as you get older in high school, you don't want to just be so closed-minded because you are the way that you are. Different people can expose you to different things, and no matter what nationality, or if they look different, if you're heavy and they're skinny, or you're skinny and they're heavy, black, white, brown, yellow, purple, whoever they are, show them love. I think that's first and foremost. When you're in school, that's the thing I'd be teaching my kids, is get to know everybody, talk to everybody, be the friend to everybody. If you see someone who's sad or crying in the hallways, don't pick on them. You see someone getting picked on, be the one who stands up for them. I think that's what I would do for kids going into high school, and just go into it with a positive attitude. We've got JJ Lippy, one of our top line athletes, NIU football player. He asks, how have your darkest moments made you into the person you are today? You know, with all the drama and negativity that's been going on right now, you have that time where you kind of go through, holy crap, what's going on? You start to assess things. I'm trying to focus more on some of the positive things that are going on right now. But I know many of you guys out there have had tough childhoods, or maybe you're an adult right now and you're going through, obviously, the tough circumstances of maybe losing your job and having some financial troubles. My suggestion would be for you to not be emotional about it, but to look at the situation for what it is, because I don't think it's necessarily anything personal right now. I think it's due to situations that are going on around you. But any of those times that are really tough, maybe you lost a loved one, maybe you lost your dream of being, maybe like me, a pro athlete, comes to an end. As I look back on a lot of those things in hindsight, I just realized that out of every negative situation, something positive has come from it. And I know I couldn't always see it when I was in it. So now, being 33, nearly 34 years old, I start to look at situations like this tough situation and know something good's going to come out of it if I'm patient. So be patient when you're going through the challenge. Remember that it probably won't last forever, and that you're probably going to get through it. And take what you can from the experience. Look at it. Know that something good will come from it. But no matter what you go through that's difficult, just remember humility always comes out of it. And you can't replace that. So the humility will always be there for you to kind of help guide you and to protect you as you go on, so your ego doesn't start to overcome you like it can, because it can. Carson Doberstein, family member of mine, he says, how do you grow on social media? To be honest, the two things I would say to grow on social media, which I think we could do better, are number one, focus on your audience. Who are you trying to put something out there for that can add value to them? Whether you want to make them laugh, Carson, or whether you want to teach them how to do something. Well, I've seen you've been doing skateboarding. Maybe you want to show them how to do a skateboarding trick, or maybe you want to be like some people who post positive. Maybe you're like Gary Vee and you want to post positive stuff to encourage people. And I think the second thing is that is often overlooked is engaging and talking to people. So the number one thing that people want on social media is attention. People want people to look at their stuff. People want people to comment on their videos and engage with them. So I think you DMing somebody, we had a DM yesterday, cool DM, I'll read it. Did you see that one? No, 414 Hutch. 414 Hutch sent us a message. He said, hey man, I just want to say thank you for all the hard work and dedication to what you do. It's been really pushing me lately, and I'm going to be working my ass off to be the top-notch athlete that I know I can be. You have been one of my biggest motivations, as I'm sure it's a lifelong dream of yours to own your own gym. You guys are literally amazing, and I want to thank you once again for everything you guys do for me and others. Now remember, this is somebody who's never come into Topline. We've never met this individual, or I haven't met this individual yet. He said, you're here to better people's lives, and that's definitely what you're doing in mine. Thank you so much, Topline. Okay? So remember that when you're on social media, that you actually can have an impact on other people's lives. But what he did is cool to us because it's reinforcing what we do on a regular basis, which is whether it be on Topline's page or the Topline Athlete University page, Topline Football Training, or my personal page, or Britt, or whoever it is, we're usually pushing something positive, encouraging, good vibes, good energy, and people know that. So it's cool to hear that feedback from people, and it makes you want to do it more. So imagine what you can do to, Joe Schmo 41 on Instagram who has, 50 followers, but you go engage with him. So if you want to grow your following, why don't you go follow some other people? Why don't you start some conversations with other people who are interested in what you're putting out there, whether it was skateboarding or whether you're making video game edits, you're doing the Fortnite edits, or whatever it is you're streaming, so that you can create relationships with people. Because if you want to get in life, you have to give. So if you want attention, give attention. The next question is coming from Elizabeth Hansen, and her question has to do with staying positive. So let's scroll on to the last one, second to last one. Besides positivity and prayer, what else helps you with anxiety? One of the main things that helps me with anxiety is my daily disciplines and things that I can do to stay busy. Because anxiety usually comes when you're worried about something happening, or the fear of something happening, or something you need to do. So one of the things I've been doing is whatever I know I need to do that might give me anxiety, I try and do it first thing in the morning. That's always been a big help. I like to work out because it gets me thinking about something different. I like to listen to certain positive motivational videos or audios where I'm learning something, because instead of life throwing stuff at me, I start to think about what I can throw at life and what I can do to be a solution. So whenever you're anxious, prayer is definitely going to help you, because you'll definitely feel some peace from that. But anxiety and worry doesn't just dissipate in an instant. So you need to be... This ice maker goes off. We need a new studio. When things come back, we will be getting a new studio. But in any event, anxiety is always going to try and creep up on you, and what you can't let it do is you can't feed it. Don't feed the anxiety and I'm an anxious person, so I have to be very vigilant in what I do to try and protect myself against myself sometimes. And those things are staying busy, staying active, taking action, and just burning the house down with actions. When I'm doing that, I'm feeling good. When I'm leading, I'm feeling good. When I'm strength training, I'm feeling good. So anytime I'm making progress, I'm feeling good. To be honest, the number one thing that's bad when you're feeling anxiety is time, idle time, where you're not doing anything, where you don't have somewhere to be, where you're not around people. So if you ever want to find the devil, just find free time where you're just by yourself, and that's where you'll start to think, oh my gosh, I'm anxious about this, and what about this, and what if you need to go do something. You need to go get around somebody. You need to send a text message to somebody, and you start thinking like that and talk, and all of a sudden you'll feel better just by talking. So I know you guys out there are dealing with anxiety right now. You're dealing with fear, and you're dealing with negative. You're having to swim through a sea of negativity every day, and my prayer is that you start to distance yourself from that, start to take action on the things you can control, like we've been preaching ever since this whole situation started. And now it's the 18th. We started our lockdown. We quarantined on March 13th, Friday the 13th. We were locked down. And yeah, stuff keeps coming up. It is what it is. Got extended. You got to start to say that too. It is what it is. So I remember when my hair was thinning out, I'm like, it is what it is, dog. It's got to go. I'm 22 years old. I'm like, I look in the mirror, and I'm like, you can kind of see right through the front. I'm like, there was only so far I could comb it into the middle before I'm like, I don't want to be that dude that just has one spike right here, like one little curled spike, because I got curly hair. I look like the Grinch. So at the end of the day, you got to say, it is what it is. We're extended. We're locked down. It is what it is. I'm not saying you should accept everything, but when things are outside of your control, if you're 5'7", it is what it is. It is, but maybe you can, I remember thinking, I'm like, maybe I can add some muscle. So I add some muscle. Do what you can do. Don't worry about what you can't. But I hope you guys have an awesome day. Thank you guys for tuning in, and be on the lookout for some really cool things from around the Top Shop. Yeah, we haven't been able to be in here right now, but that doesn't mean that we're not trying to get things ready so that we're not only prepared to come out of this and get back, but we want to be back better than ever. We don't want the same old played out, beat up, worn down workouts, warm-ups, the whole deal. We want to fire things up. So when we come back, we're going to be getting after it, and I hope you are too. Stay positive, stay hungry, and keep making progress. We'll catch you guys on the flip side.